Candidates are often intimidated by the need to sound intelligent when talking about the issues. Well, at least the good ones are. The process of being able to talk about an issue has a foundational practice that I always have my candidates do when they first get started. And this practice has a 4-step process or a 3-step process. Okay. Anyway, it begins with going and getting educated on the issues. One of the best ways to be educated for the office that you're running for is to talk to people who are already in that office. They'll give you a lot of insights and a lot of information as to how their job works and the issues that are involved. If you're running for state legislature, you should talk to your state legislator now, even after the primary. If they endorse the other guy, don't be shy, because I'm sure they'll have a lot of recommendations for you. So talking to existing office holders is a great way to get a good start. As a part of your fact finding and understanding your office and how it works, especially if you're running on the state or federal level, it's going to be really important for you to check out 2 websites which I recommend you go to first. The first is heritage.org. This is for the Heritage Foundation. And Heritage is great about putting out policy reports and papers on all of the issues. They cover basically everything. To get another perspective, the Cato Institute is also a great way to go. Cato.org is their website. They'll have plenty of publications on there that you can read and study and learn more about the issues. Now, if you really want to have a strong foundation on international policy and foreign issues, it's a good idea to check out the Council on Foreign Relations at CFR.org. Now, a lot of conspiracy theorists like to talk about the CFR and they're involved in all this stuff, and it's kind of funny to watch. But if once you start reading those reports regularly, you'll see that our policymakers don't seem to listen to them quite as often as they should, because they make really good policy recommendations, and the information they provide will help you be conversant on almost any topic internationally. Just as a backup, and one of my favorite sources has been the Center for Strategic and International Studies. I've actually been reading papers on their website since I was in college back, in the last century. Actually, I think I first learned about them back in 99, 98. Sometime I took an international relations course, and I found their websites and I started to read their papers. And so I've been working, I should say, I've been reading their stuff for quite a long time. CSIS.org is a great place to go. And all these organizations also have YouTube videos that you can watch that'll give you a bit more insight and allow you to hear how they talk about it versus just reading about it. Once you've gone through the process of started to read and study these policy issues, at the end of the evening, every night, at the end of the night, every night, you've got to sit down and write down your understanding of the issue and what you think about it. Now, this is going to be you being honest about what you think about it, and make sure that you thoroughly explore how you feel about this issue. Once you've done that, you need to turn your answer into a 10 to 20 word summary so that you can very easily say things that are going to make sense. I remember listening to George Bush talk about Social Security, and he says that we need a system that is efficient, solvent, and fair. You know, that was great rhetoric. Those threes are really good rhetoric. Bill Clinton also made a good one with abortion: safe, legal, and rare. Right there. In fact, I think we had a politician say that, oh yeah, Tim Ryan's running for Senate in Ohio, and he said something like that as part of his pretend to side with Trump sometime campaign, but whatever. Anyway, you'll find if you can put together how you feel and then write down a summary very briefly, it'll make it easier. Once you have a 10 to 20 word summary of how you feel on all the topics that you've been studying, then you need to create a longer explanation as to how you feel, and you want to write this down. The tactile movement of the pen is a part of the process. This is very important for a candidate to do. What's going to happen is if you sit down with a newspaper and you do an interview, those 10 and 20 word answers are what's going to be in the newspaper for the most part on every issue. You can talk as long as you want to. Most of the time it's going to be the short answer, because that's how the newspaper is going to report your feelings on any topic or issue. If you're on television, you also need to do the same thing, but oftentimes the reporter will come back to an issue and want a further explanation, or they'll challenge your ideas. And when they challenge that idea, you ignore what they said, and then you continue with the paragraph that you've already prepared on that topic. It's important for you to keep in mind that because you have taken the time to fully explore your personal thoughts on the issue, then taking the time to summarize them into bite-sized chunks for the media, and then taking the time to expand upon them, to talk about them in a way that makes sense, that's logical, and a good argument. Now you're ready for prime time. That's how you get started.